Neat, not blurry anymore. Another episode of God's Autobiography. My name is Stephen French, and I just got home from work, and I'm crazy tired. Drinking vegan protein. Been, I don't know, always thinking of what videos to do, and I've got a whole list to choose from, but I never want to choose from that list. So I just kind of go with whatever one I was thinking about most recently. And today would be a little bit about dangerous jobs that I've had. I had that one story of me thinking I was going to die, and it's not the only time I thought I was going to die, but it's the only time I thought I was going to die at the hands of somebody else. So these are more just, it seems pretty often that when my stepdad or my uncle kind of ask me if I have a fear, and I think the answer is no, that the answer should have been a yes. So the first time that this happened to me was my stepdad needed help doing his tin roof on his barn. So he's like, "Hey, Steven, are you afraid of heights?" It's like, "No, I don't think so. I've done like some obstacle courses and climbed some big trees and jumped off a waterfall. Like, no, I don't think I'm afraid of heights." And turns out I'm petrified of heights when it gets to be sketchy situations. So he's got a barn with a 12 pitch or 1-to-1, meaning like it's like for every foot over, it's a foot up. It's pretty steep. You can't walk on it. And it's a tin roof, so big, giant sheets of tin. It's probably not actually tin, but you get it. So he's got two 30-foot ladders that he's rested up against the roof. And he's got a pike, which just creates like a walkway between the two ladders, just kind of like almost at the top of them. So you climb up 30 feet. You have to climb around the top of this pike to stand on a 1.5-foot pike, a little ledge, and use that so you can get towards the top of the roof. Now, just getting onto the pike from the ladder, I had a really, really fucking tough time. Like a lot of shaking because you're not anchored to anything. Nothing's really keeping the ladders from swaying other than just hoping that they're put in right. And so I get to the top of this pretty sketchy construction, and my stepdad's just going away, putting in screws to the new sheets. And there's one where he can't reach the top screw. So he starts unscrewing. These are like 1.25 inch screws. He starts unscrewing them about 1/2 inch each. Starts climbing up them. He's like, "All right, Steven, you stand beneath me." I'm like, "Why?" He's like, "So if I fall, you can catch me." I like kind of think he's joking. I kind of like, I'm hugging the wall. Like I'm as glued to this wall as I can be. So I shuffle over a little bit, still just kind of hugging the wall. And the guy just stands on my elbow. Like I'm leaning into this pitch with a guy, a full-grown human man, just standing on my elbow and just using me as another one of those little tiny pins to hold himself. And I was terrified. That was awful, awful experience with heights. But I had a worse experience because that was, again, the top of a 30-foot ladder. We were doing a chimney when I was working with my uncle doing stonemasonry. This chimney was on the top of about a 40-foot high roof. About halfway up, so maybe like 20 foot up, there's maybe like a little carport, not really carport, a little sunroom extension off the house with a slight slope in the roof. So we get to the top of that and we build scaffolding up, and then we build scaffolding on top of that. But you can't build scaffolding off of a non-flat surface, so we had to prop the scaffolding up. Hopefully that's enough to draw this picture. But we stacked 2x4s underneath the feet of the scaffolding to make it as level as we could. And then we ran those up another 20 foot, so we're level with the 40-foot brick. Now this was also a tin roof, about a 1-to-1 pitch. So like the roof's coming up, we now created a flat and we built straight up. But that gap just gets bigger and bigger. So my uncle has these 2x14s, I think. They're just like really long, really wide boards. And he like laid one down from the scaffolding over to the roof. He laid two down, one on top of the other. And he sat on the scaffolding on the end of it. I wish I could draw this out, but I can't. Hopefully keep your brain up with my words. So the only thing keeping this from falling is that he's sitting at the top and it's just leaned over onto the roof. He'd be sitting over where like my elbow is. And I had to scoot across the plank and then put in roof jacks on the tin. Now, if that broke early on, I'm falling about 20 feet straight down. If it broke towards the end, or if I got to the end and slipped, I'm sliding down about 20 feet into the scaffolding, which again is balancing on 2x4s. So I would definitely knock that over, probably on top of me. If I fell to the side, I'm falling 40 foot down to the ground. All bad situations. About halfway across the board, I hear some like creaking, some cracking. And then the guy that's on the ground looking up is like, "Hey, the board's starting to split." And I don't know, one of the most scared moments of my life, but it was fine. It didn't break. I scooted across and turns out there was no reason to be too afraid. But I kind of understood I had a fear of heights. And it's kind of normal to be afraid of heights. So like that was upsetting, but it was I was okay with it. Then Kevin asked me another time, are you afraid of wells, water, and snakes? I think this was a really peculiar one. Not really afraid of snakes. We don't really have too many poisonous ones in upstate New York. Wells I've never really played in, but no, I don't think so. And water, never really been afraid of. I don't swim super well, but I can swim enough. Turns out there's this old stone well on like just nearest property line that was plugged years ago. Stone well, maybe 4 foot diameter. He had to put a ladder down into it. Down below the water level, there was the out pipe for the well, and that had been plugged with a piece of wood. So essentially, we just needed to reactivate the well. We just needed to go down and pull out the plug. Now I was able to. I don't know if I have to kind of stand up to get more space for this guy. I was able to climb down the ladder, so I'm in the well, and maybe the top of the frame would be the top of the well. I couldn't reach up and touch the top of the well, and I'm in it, surrounded by this, again, 4 foot diameter, just stone. And on that ladder at that height, water is about to my hip, and I can feel with my toes, I can feel the wood inside of the pipe that I need to remove. That's just to reactivate the well. So all I have to do is reach down, not even getting my head in the water, grab this piece of wood and pull it out. But for some reason, as I would reach down, the water level would come up to my chest, and I would hyperventilate. So I'd start going down and just go, and I could not, this arm is being the water level, I could not control my breathing. As soon as the water level would get to my chest and I would feel the pressure of it, I'm a little bit blurry. As soon as I would feel the pressure of the water, I would just hyperventilate deeply, as hard as I could, the most uncomfortable. I wasn't scared, but I was uncomfortable, and it was indeliberate. It was just really weird because I could tell myself, I was focusing, I was like, dude, there's zero risk here. I'm on a ladder. The ladder's damn near at the bottom of the well. The ladder's not going to fall any further. If it did, I can swim. If I couldn't, the wall's here. I can just climb the wall. It's pretty big blocks of stone. Zero risk at all. I saw a couple lizards floating around. Didn't care about those. I didn't see any snakes, but I didn't really care about those. Just getting water up to or towards my chest, my neck, freaked me out. Turns out I'm extremely claustrophobic in those really, really odd situations. But that's about it. 3 times that my life got scared because of work in shitty working conditions. God's Autobiography, episode 24. Doing 100 of these. Some of the students at KTR have been asking if I have a YouTube channel. I don't post tricks anymore. I've been doing this for a while. So you're just going to see a lot of me talk, and just ignore these. These are for me. And I'll post tricking videos later. Probably. Peace.